Hello everybody, Cooper here, and welcome back to another episode of Youth to Gold here on Cricket Captain 2024. Hope you're all doing very well today. It's the start of Season 3. We've got quite an amount of games that we're going to be getting through today. First and foremost, we've got a sort of a university warm-up game against Loughborough. I believe that's how you say it, University. It's a home game, which will be handy, but if we have a look not at the domestic tables, at the schedule, we can see we've got 5 first-class games in the county championship that we're going to go through today, in addition to the university game. So 6 games today, all in first-class cricket, which I'm very excited to get through. I've put together an 11 for today. Basically, this is what I think our strongest lineup is going to look like. Obviously, with the players that we have available, guys like Bannister, who's playing in the IPL, ordinarily would be playing, but unfortunately is unavailable. And also, this is form dependent, so we've got a few fast bowlers down here that we may want to consider in the future. But I just like what we have right now with our current set of bowlers. We've got Minto and Milligan. Minto, who I think is 17 or 18 years old. He had a really good debut campaign last season. Milligan we brought in as a youth player. He previously played for Worcestershire, took 30 wickets in his first 6 first-class games, which is incredible. And then we're going to go with the double spinners. Archie Vaughan's going to be making his first-class debut, actually his just professional cricket debut in this game. And Harry Armstrong is going to be the second spinner. We've put together a spinning wicket. It's only a 3-day game, so I dare say this one will be quite quick. And then we've got sort of a top 6 with Follett, Flintoff. Smith is going to be our captain this season. Higgins at 4. Ollie Davies batted basically all of last season at 3. He's going to drop down to 5 to compensate for Steve Smith. Tim Copperfield, who I believe also used to play for Worcestershire, is going to be batting at 6 for us. He previously has been batting at 5 in first-class cricket, although we could go Markham at 6, who is our really young wicketkeeper, who is a really good batsman, but just hasn't shown it at that level yet. We might actually go, or we could go Sykes or Willie in for Copperfield, but I think we'll leave it at that for now. It's only a 3-day game against the university side, so I'm not that worried about it. Follett should not be the second bowler, I've just noticed. We'll give that to Minto. We're going to call heads on the toss. I'm not too concerned about the result in this one. We've lost the toss and we're going to be bowling first. I just want to get our guys into some half-decent form for the start of the season. And I'm pretty hopeful that we will be able to, because nobody in this lineup for Loughborough has played any professional cricket before. So I think we should be taking this one pretty comfortably, as you can tell, based on the predictor. All out for 216. Pretty even distribution of wickets. Minto is going to be on a hat trick at the start of the next innings when he has a bowl. Picked up the final 2 wickets. Did a very good job. Milligan, 3 for 57 from his 13 overs. Was pretty expensive actually, as was Minto with the new ball. Both of them going at almost 4.5 runs an over. Armstrong, 3 for 76 from his 25. Pretty good spell of bowling, had one play and miss, but I thought he was pretty decent. And then Archie Vaughan, who honestly was a little bit of a surprise packet. I didn't expect him to bowl as much as he did, even though he is batting at 8. Not actually going to show because that's the other team's batting lineup. But 2 for 37 on a spinning wicket obviously does help, but 2.18 economy, best of our bowlers so far in this game. There's another 5 university games going on at the same time. We'll have a look at those at the end of, basically once this game is wrapped up. But there's a minute to go in the end of, or towards the back end of the second session on day 1. Hopefully nothing terrible happens and we don't lose any wickets. Rocky Flintoff facing Flavin. He's on 98, hits the ball down the ground. There's the first 100 of season 3, and that is the end of day 1. Northamptonshire only behind by 25 runs. 103 of 102 for Rocky Flintoff. Just his 3rd career 100 for the 17-year-old. And you'd have to say that the rest of the lineup is actually doing very well as well. Follett got 73 off 94. Got out, I believe that may have actually been caught behind if I remember correctly. Yes, it was. And then Steve Smith, 11 off 20, batting at 3. Not off to a bad start whatsoever, but there's still a lot of time left in this game. And the predictor basically has us winning this one 100% of the time. All out for 462, not a bad total whatsoever. We're halfway through day 2. Higgins was the only other batsman apart from Flintoff to get his half century. That's actually not entirely true. Follett got his 73. But Higgins, 82 off 113. We had a couple of good starts in the middle order. Steve Smith got 29. Ollie Davies got 10 off 9, but then got out LBW. Tim Copperfield on debut for us got 21. Markham got a really quick 42, a little bit uncharacteristic of him. And then Armstrong, towards the back end of the innings, got 30 with the bat, which is actually a career high for him. Very impressed with how we've gone. We're in the lead by 246. I think we are a good chance to win this by an inning should we bowl very well. Their predicted score is actually a little bit over 260. We've got to bowl well to get that innings victory because, to be perfectly honest, I do not feel like batting again on this wicket. And the spinners get it done. A very comfy victory. I mean, I'm not going to get too excited about this one. We are playing a team a lot worse than us. But Armstrong and Vaughan, 7 wickets between them in the second dig. Armstrong, 3 for 36 from his 10 overs. Archie Vaughan, 4 for 31 from 14.3 overs. 6 wickets for the match. Bowling average currently of 11. Economy of 2.16. But as I said, not going to get too excited until we play some actual county teams. Minto was really good with the new ball, as was Milligan. But very good game. Rocky Flintoff gets player of the game for his 136. Not too surprising there. We can see that Pakistan have beaten Bangladesh in the first test of the year. Don't know who this guy is. I believe he may be a new gen. No, he's not. I just don't recognize him. But he got a nice 150. Asfand got 10 for Pakistan, and he's had a very good start to his. He's actually got 10 for on test debut. What a guy. And then in the other university games, we can see that Joe Root got a very good result here for Yorkshire. For Hampshire, Gus Miller got 193. So we can just see that the purpose of these games is just to get the county teams in form. Lancashire drew in their game, which actually isn't that big of a surprise. Leicestershire got a big win as well. And then Surrey drew with Leeds, which was very interesting. Our first game of the county season is at home up against Kent, who, if we have a look at the domestic tables from last year, finished just above the relegation zone. And I don't know if they made any massive additions last season, but their squad as a total doesn't look too bad. They've got Devon Conway, who I don't believe played for them last season, but he has bounced around for a couple of different counties, but I believe he may be new. They've got, who else do they have down here? They've got Josh Tung, who plays for us in the, for the Manchester Originals, I should say. They've got Sam Billings, former international cricketer. They've got Janaman Malan, who has a pretty good domestic record, hasn't played a lot of international cricket, but they've got some good players for them. I don't think we'll make too much of a drastic change. The weather looks absolutely horrendous, so this might be bat first because day 1 and day 2 look pretty good, and then use the overcast conditions on day 3. I think that's going to be the way to go. Hopefully we can make something of this game because it's not looking good in terms of the conditions. We're going to call heads on the toss, and we're hoping that we win the toss, but we've lost, and we're going to be putting in to bowl, which is not ideal. But if we can bowl them out fairly quickly on day 1, that would be great. But the spinners have got a lot to do because, I mean, this pitch is spinning, but hopefully with those overcast conditions, Milligan and Minto can get a bit of stuff done. Maybe it's a mistake only playing the 2 fast bowlers. Maybe we should have sacrificed Vaughan, but he's going to be making his county championship debut today. Can Archie Vaughan get the final wicket of the first innings? Yes, he can. Berger is gone. Kent all out for 224, but that is not the story of the first innings. Archie Vaughan, 6 for 50 on, not first class debut, but county championship debut. He currently has a first class bowling average of 9.83. Follett bowled at the last couple of overs as well alongside him. None for 26 to his name, but an absolutely outstanding performance from Archie Vaughan in this first dig to get Kent all out for 224. We did lose a bit of time on the first day. We just lost over 2 hours, but hopefully we can make that up, as today is going to be pretty sunny. We're not that far into day 2. Pitch is still looking pretty decent. The predictor has us scoring just over 300, but they still have Kent at a 50% chance of winning. Hopefully, we can score a little bit more than 300. Maybe if we can push to get a lead of about 150, that would be great. But Follett, who got a half century in that university warm-up game, Flintoff, who got 136, which also is his highest first-class score. Hopefully we can get a few runs on the board and score in and around the 400 mark. All out for 326. We started super hot. We were 1 for 174, but just couldn't convert that into a big lead. But we are in the lead by 102, which is something. Flintoff got another 100 and out this time. He's got that first class average up above 40 now. Good work, Flintoff. Follett, 44 of 50 was really good. Smith, his first innings for us in the county championship, got 41. Higgins, again, he's actually scoring. Actually, no, he's not. I tell a fib. I thought he was scoring at above a strike rate of 100, but he's not. Ollie Davies, 77 off 108 was really good. And then the tail just fell apart, unfortunately for them. Matt Parkinson, who's a leg spinner that's been around forever, has played Test cricket. That was quite a few years ago now, back in 2022-23. He's England contracted though, so he might be a sneaky call-up later down the line. Josh Tongue picked up 2 wickets, as did Nondre Berger. That's an all-time great name. But as I said, we're in the lead by 102. We've got to bowl really well now. The spinning wicket is turning quite a bit, but we don't want to get flushed away with the rain and whether that is coming this way. So we're going to take early wickets with the new ball, and then hopefully the spinners can do the rest at the back end of the innings. Kent all out for 259. There's 4 overs to go in day 3, and the weather on day 4 doesn't actually look too bad, but Kent are in the lead, by 157. Only one batsman made over 50, which was Zach Crawley, but Markham behind the stumps, 1, 2, 3 dismissals. I actually thought he had more than that. Seemed like he had a lot more. Milligan, 2 for 53 with the new ball was good. Minto, 4 for 81. His best figures for a little while, actually. Or mainly just to start the season. Armstrong, 359. Archie Vaughan, 1 for 41. Wasn't too bad. And there was a couple of changeovers where we needed someone to pop up. So Steve Smith had a bowl, which was fun. But we're in the lead by 157. We've lost now a total of almost 4.5 hours. We don't need very many to win. There's 1 over left today. And then we've got a full day tomorrow to chase down basically 160. We lose 6 wickets in the chase, but we finally get it done. We win by 4 wickets. Archie Vaughan, 13 of 36 finishes not out with Tim Copperfield, who gets a very nice 47. Finishes not out, which is great, but nobody else really stood out, unfortunately. Flintoff couldn't make it 300s in a row. Not that I thought he was going to. Follett got 3. Smith got 30. Higgins, 11. He's not had a good start to the season whatsoever. But a win's a win. We will take it. And Archie Vaughan gets player of the game for his 6 for 50. And I believe he actually finished not out in both of his innings. 31 runs, average of 31. Not too bad. Minto also was very good with the ball in this one, has to be mentioned. But I think we're probably a batsman, or actually a bowler short in this particular lineup. So I think we're going to make some changes heading into the second game of the season. We're currently sitting in 4th, which, I mean, 1 game into the season isn't too bad. Durham got absolutely pummeled by Middlesex, it looks like. And would you look at that, with a bit of coaching, Archie Vaughan has improved his attacking bowling. I actually don't think I've gone over the coaching for this season, Joe Denley, not Joe Denley, I don't know how many times I'm going to be doing that. Jaden Denley is improving his one-day accumulating. I think he's going to be a very good one-day accumulator. Follett is doing the exact same. Flintoff is doing catching and fielding at this point. Ian Foyle, I'm training him to be just a middle order one-day batsman because he is an opener in T20, but I think we've got enough people in the squad that are capable of doing that. Copperfield is doing the same thing, although I don't think he's going to be playing a lot of limited overs cricket for us, mainly because just of that very defensive player trait that he does have. Smith, I believe, is just training him out of being an opener. Fielding for Markham. Archie Vaughan is getting that attacking bowling, as we mentioned, and I believe that is the case for everybody else as well. But we've now got Sussex today at Hove. Now, who do we bring out? Because I think we're probably actually a little bit harsh to leave out David Willey. Did not too bad in the second 11 last game, but we could either bring in another bowler, so probably either Beasley or Lucas, or even someone like Martin or Langridge. Probably not Lucas, he's got a second 11 bowling average of 40. We could go Beasley, which could be the way to go. Brownlow, I'm really just wanting him to be a limited overs option. Kelly could be an option. He's only 20, hasn't had a great deal of first class experience, but we could probably even go Sykes. He played a lot of cricket for us last year, but wasn't really outstanding. So I think David Willey's probably the safe bet, but who do we take out is the only thing. I think Copperfield probably is going to be the one to go. Not because he didn't play well in the last game. I actually think he did play very well. But I think having Davies, Higgins, Smith, we've got enough batting at the top of the order. I want to give Markham a little bit more batting responsibility. I know he's averaging 21 after 9 games. But I think there's something there with him. We just need to unlock it, get him into some good form. Willie's going to bat at 7 and be that third fast bowler for us. Archie Vaughan's going to continue batting at 8. Armstrong at 9, Minto 10, Milligan 11. Even though Armstrong's got a really poor first class average, if we have a look at the second 11, he's actually got the third best out of the bowlers. Oh, sorry, the first best out of the bowlers, because I really consider Archie Vaughan to be an all-rounder. So I think that's how we're going to go. I'm very excited for this game. The conditions, it's actually going to be quite pacey. We could probably only need to play one spinner, although I am going to keep 2 just for the sake of it, because I think Armstrong's been really good last season and he's in relatively good form. Vaughan, I think, based on his performances so far, is undroppable. It would be very unfair to drop him. And I think even though they are spin bowlers, they are probably superior to what we have in the fast bowling department right now. Again, we're going to call heads on the toss. We finally win a toss. Feels like it's been forever. We are going to bat first, but I just want to have a quick look at their 11 because it is very, very good. They've got Tom Hames, Tom Clark, Pajara, who as we know is very good, Lewis Deploy, Adam Rosington, who used to play for us, Lion Cachet, which is one of the great surnames, Joffre, Carvelis, Ben Curry, and Muhammad Abbas. That is an astounding lineup. They are 4.5-star rated side, and yeah, they're a very strong chance to win this one, which, I mean, I'm not going to say I want us to lose, but I think we will probably lose that one. But just based on that fact. Pretty disappointing innings, this one. All out for 252. The real only shining light was John Higgins, who got out for 95, unfortunately. Finally got a half century in the county championship so far this season. It's not been great in this middle order so far to start the season. We've been really lucky with that. Flintoff has been scoring runs at the top of the order, and Follett has got a couple of half centuries. Actually, he's only got the 1 half century to his name, but we really need to pick up the batting because our bowlers have been really good and we can't afford to not take advantage of our bowling. Predictor now has them scoring 370, 83% chance to win. The pitch looks pretty even for both pace and spin. Hopefully we can get something done here. Milligan has been in really good form this season. If we just have a quick scout at the current record, As you can see, all the bowlers have been very good. Armstrong's actually bowled the most overs, which is quite interesting. But we need quick result here. I just want to have a look at this guy. Is he actually a regen? I don't think he is, unfortunately, because I would love a regen with that name. Let's get them under 300 so we can get a nice big total in the third innings. We got absolutely belted in their first innings, my lord. They were 1 for 453 at one point. We were very lucky to get a few quick wickets, and they are currently 5 for 507. Tommy Haynes, 227, not even a career high for him. Tommy Clark, 164. Pujari got 63 off 91. Milligan picked up 3 for 94, was the best of the bowlers. Armstrong and Vaughan got a wicket apiece, but they were both going at over 5 runs and over. Absolutely awful behaviour. And the predictor has us only scoring 259, meaning they're basically going to win by either an innings or 10 wickets. I think we probably not try and bat for a draw, but try and bat out the rest of day 2, because there's only an hour and a little bit to go, and then bat out, if we can, all of day 3. Just take a bit of time off the clock, and then try and get enough of a lead that we can try and win this game. But if it's starting to get like we're going to lose it, I think just bat for the draw, but we'll just see how we go. I mean, we get to the end of day 2 and we're 4 for 37. That's not quite what I had in mind. Oh, it's not looking good. We predict a 0.5 of a chance. We're still here, guys. We're 0.5 of a chance away from winning this game. Oh, it's not looking good. All out for 441. We were in a lot of trouble, as you do know. It's also the highest score against Sussex. Good for us. We were 5 for 95, 4 for 34, then 6 for 114. But thank you. I had faith in him. I had faith in him. Gareth Markham, the 17-year-old, finally, after getting 99 twice last season, gets his first professional 100, 195. He was batting very slowly at the start, but ramped it up towards the end. Finished 195 off 353, as you can see. Just absolutely beautiful on this graph, where first 200 balls, he was in around sort of the 60 to 70 mark, and then absolutely elevated towards the end. Archie Vaughan also picked up his first half century, I believe. Yes, it was. And then Harry Armstrong chipped in with a nice 59. We basically got him to play very defensively, while Markham just teed off towards the end. And then Minto got 15 off 32. He's actually not been too bad with the bat. He got 66 at some point last year. He was the final man to go. We lead by 186, which, I mean, had you told me that when we were 4 for 34, I definitely would have taken. But absolutely incredible batting performance. Predictor, Sussex is still the favourite. Their predicted score is 187. I think we are a chance of making a game of this. The bounce is uneven. It is turning. Where, I mean, there's half an hour to go in the first session of day 4. So it's essentially 2.5 sessions to chase down 190. I think Sussex is still going to get it done. But hopefully we can force them to either draw or get a very unlikely victory. Sussex, 8 runs to win. It's in the air. Armstrong, I think Follett's taken the catch. We've won. How the hell have we won that? Sussex all out for 179. We win by 7 runs. Armstrong and Vaughan take 9 wickets between them. Oh my God. An hour and a half left in the final session of the game. What an absolutely crazy comeback. That is absolutely outrageous. We need to have a look. They got off to an absolute flyer. They were 1 for 61. Then I believe it was, I think it was Vaughan that took the opening wicket. Yeah, Vaughan to Clark. The opening bowlers for us didn't really do a great deal. Milligan did pick up a wicket, but was expensive. Minto only bowled the 7 overs. And we just went with the spinners and it worked basically perfectly. We were getting a little bit concerned in and around the 8-wicket mark where they were 8 for 158 and they were starting to build a partnership for the 9th wicket. Then we got out Carvelis and then Mohammad Abbas was the final wicket and we win by some miracle by 7 runs. That's our closest win, I think. It has to be one of our closest wins of the series. Markham, not surprisingly, gets player of the game. An absolutely unbelievable result for us. And with that win, we actually go second in the county championship table. Nottinghamshire are currently still first. They haven't actually got that many more bonus points than us, but they are 3 points ahead at this point in time. Sussex, after finishing second last year, are now currently in the relegation zone. Yorkshire and Middlesex, the 2 new sides from Division 2, they're 3rd and 4th. A very interesting start to the county season. And if we have a look in Division 2, Surrey and Glamorgan still cellar dwellers at this point in time. Lancashire and Hampshire, who were relegated, are currently 15th and 16th, with Derbyshire and Somerset in the top 2. Durham away is our next fixture. They're currently in 5th. Looks like Flintoff has improved his fielding as well. The pitch looks beautiful for batting. I think I'll keep the 11 the same. There's no real reason to change it at this point in time. We may drop Minto actually, because I feel like he hasn't been all that good in the county championship so far. So we might go in a different direction. Who's playing well in the second 11? We'll have to have a look. You can see that Beasley's actually having a very good start. He was playing some cricket, I believe, last season for Yorkshire, so we could bring him in. Lucas hasn't been that great. JT Langridge has been okay. Martin has been a bit average. Brownlow's been great, but again, we're going to focus as him as a limited overs bowler. We could go Kelly to bring in another all-rounder. Sykes has been great with the bat, but not so much with the ball. So we could bring in Sykes and then just shift everybody down one. That could be something we do, but I probably want more of an out-and-out bowler. So I'm going to bring in Beasley for his first-class debut against Durham, which is going to be a very good result for us. Hopefully, we'll actually leave Beasley at 10. I think that will be the way to do things. Armstrong's batting average is now above 10, which is good. Bowling average is at 31. Hopefully we can get that below 30. Vaughan is off to an incredible start to his career, but I don't think that any of this is sustainable, especially with the ball from him. The bat, I mean, if we have a look at his second 11 stats, he averages just below 30 with the bat, which, I mean, equates to about 30 if we have a look at David Willey's career, because that is basically the same, but 37 with the ball. He's currently averaging 18 with the ball in first-class cricket, so he may become someone who averages around 35 with the ball in first-class cricket, but if we can keep that average in the mid-30s with the bat, I think he could be someone who potentially bats at a 6 or 7 in the future. But for now, we're going to leave him at 8. We're going to send Minto to the second 11. He's actually in decent form, which is the funny thing. He just had a really poor match last time around. Actually, that's a bit harsh, actually. Beasley's going to come out. I'm sorry, Beasley. I've changed my mind on you. Everybody else is going to stay the same. How did Copperfield go in the last game? He got 75 in the second dig. Not too bad. What about Denley? How's he been going in the second 11? Averaging 35 with the bat, 52 with the ball. So just something to keep an eye on. Our middle order, Smith, Higgins and Davies have really struggled so far in the first couple of games. So hopefully we can get some runs out of them. This flat wicket appears to be a good opportunity to get that done. I'm going to call heads on the toss. We've lost the toss again. Wow. We are going to bowl first. Unfortunately, Milligan going to open the bowling for us along with Minto. So nothing really changes there. But hopefully we can get some wickets into Willie as well. And Armstrong can get a few more wickets as well. So we don't have to rely upon Vaughan as much. All out 226. Vaughan gets the final wicket. But unfortunately, it was his only wicket. Minto, I don't know why I doubted him. He picks up 5 for 67, his 4th 5-fer in his short first-class career. 56 wickets now at just under 30, not too bad. Milligan was also pretty good, 2 for 35, very economical. Willie and Armstrong picked up a wicket apiece. And now we're about to encounter some weather, it looks like, towards the back end of this day. Well, it's day 1 still. For some reason I thought it was day 2. I don't know why. But it's the end of the second session. And I think we're actually a good chance to get a bit of a lead here. I predicted first inning score is 355. And suddenly we're in with a good shot of winning this game. If we can get 400 plus, finally get some runs into our top order, that would be awesome. I'm not so concerned about Follett and Flintoff because they do have a little bit of form. Follett's obviously got a few half centuries from last season. Flintoff has a couple of hundreds already this season. But Smith, apart from his international stuff, hasn't really done anything for us as an overseas player. Higgins has got a couple of half centuries, not too much else. And Davies is in 1-star form, which hasn't been great. His first class average did touch 60 at one point last year. It's now down to 52. So hopefully we can get some stuff done in our top order. The pitch is pretty good for batting on. Let's get some runs, hopefully. Another terrific batting performance by our guys in the first innings. We are going to declare it's the end of day 2. We're currently 9 for 641. I don't know why I wouldn't just bat on, but I just want to make sure we leave enough time in the game. It's another good 100, and our middle order has finally produced. Markham, 169 not out. Back-to-back hundreds for him. That average all the way now up to 44.93. Very, very good. Davies, finally back in the runs. Got a duck in the 4th innings. Actually, it was the 3rd innings last time around. Gets his first 100 of the season. Same goes for Higgins. His first 100 of the season after getting that 95 earlier on. Smith gets his half century. He's actually started quite well, but just hasn't been able to convert. But he gets the half century. His record's obviously astounding. David Willey got 20. Vaughan, 41. Not too bad. Just continuing to chip along with those runs. Milligan finishes 24 of 26. A very good result for him. Follett and Flintoff unfortunately couldn't get those runs early. As I said, 415 runs in the lead. We batted for 133 overs, got 641. Not too bad. But now we have to defend those 415 runs. There's 2 days to go. The conditions are pretty good for batting still. And we're still a 68% chance of win. There's a 31% chance of a draw. Their predicted score is 497. So we have to see how that plays out. They've got a very solid team. Ben Stokes, Cam Williamson. There's 2 Ackermans, and they both played for South Africa, I believe. No, one plays for the Netherlands, my mistake. But they are very good. We just got to take early wickets. Vaughan gets the final wicket, and that is an innings defeat. Only by an innings and 12 runs, we finally get Henry Cullen, who is actually he's not a youth player. For some reason, I thought he was, but puts up a very determined 72 off 203, batting at number 9. Innings and 12 runs, they don't quite get it done. Vaughan, 4 for 115, bowled 47.14 overs. Armstrong got 3 for 114, was also very good. Milligan, 3 for 53. Minto couldn't quite work up the magic he pulled off in the first innings. Follett was bowling up the other end towards the end. 12 runs off of 12 overs. Very economical for him. And then Willie just bowled a couple of changeovers in the middle. But we win by an innings, which is the most important thing. Markham, again, player of the match for his 169 not out. And I forgot to mention that Michael Jones, who actually is a Scotland international, got a very nice 142 in the second innings. But it's another win for us, and I believe we should be going top with this victory. And we are top now. There's a few results that haven't been finished yet, I don't believe, but we are 14 points clear on top of Yorkshire, funnily enough, which is very interesting considering they were in Division 2 last year. It's now the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. And Foyle is injured, unfortunately. Fulks has been called up for New Zealand's one-day team. Brownlow's improved his defensive bowling. And Markham's improved his wicket-keeping. But that is not the most outrageous thing that has happened during the simulation. there's been a few domestic fixtures which I want to have a quick scout at. First and foremost, we're going to have a look at this Derbyshire game. Travis Head pulled off a nice 285, which was absolutely astounding. He has been on fire to start this county season. If we just have a look, he's averaging 105 after 3 games, which is absolutely outrageous. But that is not the craziest thing that has happened during the simulation. Nasanka, who made the team of the year last season, just got 309, which has been, I think, the 3rd triple century in the save file. He's also got a 7-for, I've just noticed, in as his career best, which is funny. But yeah, 657 runs at 131.4 has been ridiculous. We'll have a look at sort of who's doing well in the competition towards the end of the video. I believe we've got 2 more games in this episode. Yes, we've got Worcestershire away and then Durham, at home. So we've got Worcestershire away. As I said, the conditions, it's going to be spinning. So actually day 4 looks pretty grisly. So we might actually bring in Copperfield for this one. This is Copperfield's old team. We're going to bring Markham down to 7, which seems a little ridiculous considering the form he has been in. But I want to give Copperfield a chance to do well against his old team. We could also bring in a 3rd spinner if need be, but I don't really have anyone that I want to bring in. And I think Follett can definitely do a job for us if need be. So I'm going to keep the team unchanged for now. And I think we're a good shot of winning this one. In terms of star level, it's pretty even. Worcestershire have a tiny 1/4 of a star advantage on us, but I think we're going to be fine. I'm going to call tails on the toss. We normally call heads. Finally, we've won the toss. This time, we will be batting first. It is beautiful batting conditions. Although it is spinning a little bit, we will be batting first on this wicket. If we just have a quick scout of their team, Jake Libby has been playing forever. I remember when he was in Cricket Captain, I think it was 2010 was the first one that I played. Rehan Edavalath, I can't say I've heard of you. He's only played a handful of games, not been great so far. Saud Shakil from Pakistan. David Gray, who was that awesome wicketkeeper that we signed up to the Manchester Originals. He's had a very good start to his 2nd season. Andy Arkwright's already played some international cricket for England. He was a youth player from season 1. Hasn't been great for England, but has been very good for Worcestershire. Barry Carter hasn't been great at 1st class level, but really good at 1-day level. Ollie Cox seems to be another youth player. Matthew White, another player that's been around forever. Ethan Brooks. We've signed him to the Manchester Originals, but honestly, I don't think he's played a game for us. Danny Briggs, former England spinner. I'm surprised he never played Test cricket, but I suppose just never made it. Has a 1st class 100 to his name, just noticed. And then Jack White as well. Very good 1st class record. It's another 100 for Markham. That's 3 in a row. He's been absolutely incredible. We're all out for 494. Markham is in the form of his life. After really struggling for the first, 10 games of his career, he's pulled off 300s in a row. Minto, 42 towards the back end of the innings. Finally trying to turn around some batting form. And then Milligan again, another not out towards his sort of tail-endish sort of career he's having. He's 51. He scored 51 runs without getting out, which is impressive. Smith, Higgins, and Davies all get half centuries. Apart from that, not a great deal to speak of. It's just been Markham. Copperfield couldn't get runs, unfortunately. Smith and Davies actually both got 73, which is quite funny, but there is 3 minutes to go before the end of the first session on day 2, and we're in a very good place. I think we haven't actually lost any time, which is great. Not that I anticipated that we would. There could have been a chance of it on the end of day 1, but the pitch is bouncy. There's a bit of wear. I think we're actually going to be okay. Let's have a look at the predictor. The game is actually pretty even at this point in time. Only a 4% swing either way. But if we can get them, ideally if we can get them to bat again before the end of day 3, that would be great. But we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. Worcestershire all out for 129. Vaughan has been absolutely incredible with the ball. 7 for 49. If we have a look at his final wicket, pinned Briggs on the pads. Got him. LBW was absolutely outstanding. Armstrong got 1 for 48, was pretty good. We just bowled Vaughan and Armstrong majority of the time. As the pitch is spinning, Minto only bowled the 4 overs. Milligan picked up 2 for 16. Actually having a really solid start to this season. 19 wickets in 5 games, 22 average with the ball, strike rate of 44. Really, really solid, but Vaughan has been the main man. Bowling average now of 18 in 5 first-class games, 2 fifers to his name. He has been outstanding. I think we should enforce the follow-on. There's no reason for us not to. Let's get some more wickets, and hopefully we can wrap this up before they get 365 runs. Game over. We win comfortably once again. Another innings victory. Innings and 96 runs. Vaughan gets the final wicket, but it's Milligan who stars with the ball. 5 for 70 from 25 overs. Minto wasn't too bad with the new ball. Armstrong 2 for 55. And then Vaughan bowled the most overs. Very economical once again, but we win just over an hour and a half to go on day 3. Milligan gets player of the game for his first 5 of the season, having a very good start to the season. Bowling average just above 20, 24 wickets in 5 games. He's just over 50. He's got 54 wickets, I should say, in 11 games in his career so far. Outstanding performance by our guys. We're a perfect 4 for 4 at the top of the table, and as we can see, Nottinghamshire are as well. The 2 promoted teams from last season as well, also doing very well. Sussex, the big surprise packet, and not for a good reason. They are 0 and 4 after finishing second last season. Time for Durham at home in the final game of the episode. We can see that Inglis is actually injured for 2 weeks, which is annoying. Flintoff has improved his catching again, and Follett is now a much better one-day accumulator. What do I do here? Mainly because Inglis actually being injured doesn't affect us whatsoever. He's not in great form anyway. Let's have a look at the conditions. It is a home deck, so we'll go with the 2 spinners. Do we persevere with Minto? Is that a thing that we do? I'm actually going to make a couple of changes here. Beasley's going to come in to make his first class debut. He's going to come in for Minto, even though Minto's been pretty good. I'm going to send Minto to the second 11 because if we have a look at the stats, even though Langridge has been the better bowler, Beasley's been better with the bat. Martin, I want to see a bit more from him, and Lucas hasn't been all that great. Kelly could be an option as an all-rounder. He's actually in very good form, especially with the bat. Sykes is also good. Could go down that path. He's already got a couple of hundreds to his name. And how is... Oh, Willie's been really good as well. Beddingham's been good. Joe Denley. I keep saying Joe Denley. It's Jaden Denley. We could go down that path as well. But I think I'm actually going to bring in Sykes instead of Copperfield. He's going to come out. I just want to bring Markham up to 6. Sykes is going to come in as another bowler and sort of a bit of a hitter in the lower order. Because Denley's really more of an opening bat. Should we need another one of those, he'll come in. But I think for the time being, this is the lineup that we're going to go with. One thing I also want to have a quick look at is how Bannister's been going in the IPL. He's been doing okay. He's also been playing cricket overseas domestically in India. I believe he's been playing for Meghalaya, but he's also playing for the Rajasthan Royals. 23 bowling average, 6.85 economy, 8 wickets so far is not bad at all. He's also averaging 34 from the bat, which is quite interesting. He got a 45 and then a 24. Hasn't been batting anywhere else. But I think this is going to be the lineup for the final game of the episode. I'm very excited to get this one underway. The conditions look perfect. We're going to call heads on the toss. Back-to-back games, we've won the toss, I believe. We're going to bat first once again. We've reached the end of day 2, and I can't believe I'm going to do it to Davies again. We're going to declare we're 8 for 808. This pitch has been so batting friendly. It's been absolutely ridiculous. But Davies, he's 22 runs short of another triple, or not another triple century, but a triple century. Because last year, I think we were all out, and he got 296 not out. 278 not out for Ollie Davies here. Absolutely exceptional. We batted for 200 overs exactly. Follett didn't get going with the bat, but Flintoff and Smith both get hundreds. They were absolutely exceptional. Higgins got a nice 33. Markham got a good 34. Archie Vaughan played a supportive role down the bottom of the order, got 82. But Ollie Davies, 278 of 387. Got dropped once. Plenty of plays and misses, but was really, really good. 41 fours, 5 sixes. We may have batted for too long. I'm a little bit concerned that we have, but the predictor has us, it's a draw 60.5% of the time. Yeah, I think we may have batted for too long. We have to bowl them out twice in 2 days now. There's no weather conditions that are going to affect us. It's just the let's bowl them out as quickly as we can sort of strategy, which we're going to be implementing here. Durham all out for 438. It's just half an hour into the start of day 4. Ben Stokes finishes 223 all out. We really struggled to get wickets early on. Actually, that's the opposite of what I want to say. We struggled to get wickets towards the back end of the innings. We had them 5 for 102. And then Stokes and Cast actually just absolutely belted the crap out of us. Cast got a 78 ball 75. Stokes was striking at 74. They were really, really good. Milligan picked up 2 for 47. Armstrong got 5 for but conceded 202 runs. Vaughan wasn't very good. Sykes got a wicket. Beasley hasn't got a wicket on debut. We will be enforcing the follow-on just because there's no reason for us not to. Apparently we've lost a minute of time. Apparently that's a thing that's happened. I don't know how we're going to go. The draw is still the favoured outcome. Well, yeah, I suppose on the predictor. Yeah, I got greedy and I batted for too long, so hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us. Unfortunately, my fears have come true. It is our first draw of the season. Stokes with another 100. He was absolutely incredible in this game. He's actually having a very good season. I had a little sneak peek before. 2 not out hundreds in this game. Really, really good stuff from him. Milligan actually took the first 5 wickets of the innings. I thought he was going to take 10 for a second, but not to be. Beasley gets his first wicket. He's actually bowling in about 1.5 runs and over, which is very economical. No wickets out of our spinners. Just, yeah, not a very good performance, unfortunately. With the ball, we were outstanding with the bat, but just did not give ourselves the time to get a result here. And Ben Stokes gets player of the game. No real surprise there. And as things stand now, we drop down to second as Nottinghamshire are 5 of 5 in the county championship so far. They're in the lead by 5 points, but obviously that draw does stuff us up a little bit. And just before we wrap things up here for today, we're going to have a look at the stats for players in the county championship so far. And as mentioned, Nasanka is leading the way, 855 runs in 5 games, average of 95, doing very nicely. Kurt Robin, who I believe is a auto-generated player, he's having a very good season as well. Tommy Haynes is having a good season. David Coates, who I think we had a look at as a potential signing, but we never did. Ben Stokes, Joe Root, Travis Head, all the usual suspects. Down here, we've got Ollie Davies, who I believe will have the highest average at a very Bradman-esque 99.67. But in terms of the wickets, it's actually Daniel Douthwaite who is leading the way. 37 wickets at 34. Any of our guys here that I can see? Archie Vaughan is leading the way for us. 27 wickets at 25. Very, very good. Actually, if we go to his first class stats, that'll be counting the university game. That's why that was playing around. Milligan's just behind him with 26 wickets. Very, very solid start for us this season. But that is going to do it for today. Our next game will be against Worcestershire in the Vitality Blast. But thank you for watching up until this point, guys. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And until then, I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you guys then. Bye!